to improve at Fortnite faster than anyone else, it comes down to using your time effectively. And this 1 hour routine works on everything you need, from piece control to aim to movement. This simple routine is the most optimal way to see huge improvement in just 1 hour. And if you want to actually improve, you need to follow each step of this routine. Step 1 is mechanics training, and the number one way to see the most mechanical improvement in the shortest amount of time is speed free building. All you want to do is load into this map, select the slow speed and free build for 2 minutes. The reason you want to do this is so you can focus on having good crosshair placement, and this is what good crosshair placement looks like. So focus on making your crosshair move as little as possible when making an edit. Also, make sure to practice moves you struggle with so you're always improving and learning new moves to be unpredictable. Then go to a faster speed like 1.2 times to improve your edit speed and consistency, because something a lot of people overlook is edit timing, which is the speed between hitting your edit key and selecting the tile you want to edit. To have good edit timing, you want to get this to where the tile just before selecting the edit tile stays grey. Then on a normal speed, just free build normally to get used to normal speed again. This is just one of the many methods I've got for you to see rapid improvement of Fortnite. Later in the video, I've got advice from an actual pro with over $40,000 in earnings and has called to FNCS Grand Finals multiple times, and I've never heard his tip before. I'll talk about what he said later, but I need to let you know about something every pro is using to get lower ping and a better connection, which is exit lag. Exit lag uses AI to optimize your connection so you're always playing on the fastest route, and they even have a dynamic stabilizer which sends data packets through up to 4 different paths, ensuring a faster and more secure connection. So not only does it make your connection faster, but it works with over 2,000 games and has optimized servers around the world. And when I turn exit lag on in Fortnite, I went from 40 ping to 0 ping. It's super simple to use. All you do is go to the link in the description, create an account, download and install exit lag and turn it on. But exit lag knows that everyone has different internet, so to prove to you that it works, they're giving everyone watching this video a 3-day free trial, no credit card needed, so you can test it for completely free. I genuinely use exit lag every time I play, so I really recommend trying it out. And they're also doing a special discount where you can get 1 year of exit lag for half the price, so make sure to check out exit lag using the link in the description. But after free building, not only will you be fairly warmed up already, but if you do this every day, then it's the best way to improve your speed and to learn new moves. But to make sure you get good piece control, then you need to go to Raiders Mechanics Training Map V5. So go to the comp section and then go to the piece control tunnels. Here you want to go through each tunnel for 1 minute each, which is 12 minutes in total. But don't just mindlessly go through these. You need to follow these 2 fundamentals when going through these tunnels. Fundamental 1 is making sure you build in all the empty space. Essentially, this just means building wherever you can to practice getting as much piece control in an actual fight, because piece control is just getting as much builds around your enemy as you can, as you always want to be the one with more builds in a fight, as this leads to more opportunities. Fundamental 2 is something you need to do whenever you get to the bot, which is to make a protected peek where you're fully behind cover. Then after the piece control tunnels, go back to the comp section and head to the peak training section. Here you get put through lots of different piece control scenarios similar to the piece control tunnels, but the actual reason we're playing this is to get better peaks, as when you're going through these, and on a hard difficulty by the way, every time the bot can see you, it will deal damage to you. This trains your peaks so well as it actually punishes you when you make a bad peak. But something a lot of people do that makes this scenario useless is repeat the same peaks that got them damaged in the first place, because you're playing this scenario to learn new peaks and to learn what peaks are good or not. So when you do make a bad peak and get damage, make sure you don't repeat that peak again. Next up, you want to train your aim, and trust me, using a proper aim training routine is the one thing that nearly always improves your overall skill. So let me give you a full routine to help improve improve your aim. First, go to Raiders Mechanics Training Map V5, then go to the 1x1 aim drill section and select the cone option. Then make sure to keep your aim as smooth as possible and keep your crosshair at around chest level on the bot. And also use whatever AR is the best in the season you're currently playing. Then go to the headshot practice section, and here you want to aim completely for the head and try to make sure the bot's nose is in the complete center of your crosshair. If you do this, you'll start hitting a lot more max damage shotgun shots. After this, head to the surge tag scenario. This drill is really good to train long range AR aim, which is becoming more and more important in Fortnite, especially if your focus is competitive. Then do the glider tracking drill, and this is one of my favorite drills that's ever been created in Fortnite. It's a really good practice for tracking gliders and improving your overall aim, and it's super realistic to Fortnite because, well, it's literally made in Fortnite. But if you don't want to train your aim in Fortnite, then you can play Kovacs. To be honest, whether you want to play an in-game routine or a Kovacs routine, it's just preference, and you should just play whichever one you see the most improvement with. I've got all the best Kovacs routines in my Discord, the Pro Reality, if you do want to play Kovacs. And by the way, the Pro Reality is the #1 free improvement hub. You can even ask Google, so make sure to join using the link in the description. But all the Kovacs routines and the in-game routine I first mentioned take around 25 to 30 minutes. But if you have longer than 1 hour, then I recommend playing this headshot box fights map. This really helps with your crosshair placement and being able to hit max damage shotgun shots. But I do need to cover how you can get proper fighting training, because most people have more than an hour to play, and proper fighting training will help you improve so much faster. So let's cover fighting training. If you have extra time to play, one of my favorite things to do is ranked reload, and this is for two main reasons. The first reason is that you have no excuse not to W key, as you can literally respawn if you die, and this also makes it so you get into a lot more fights compared to normal ranked, as people are a lot more willing to fight. The second reason I like reload is because it lets you put your mechanics to the work. It's a lot easier to use your mechanics to your full potential in reload, as you always have that respawn feature to use if you do die. I don't know why this is the case, but it just is. Everyone uses more of their mechanics in reload compared to normal ranks. Then you can also do 1v1s. I recommend doing realistics or zone wars, as you have a mat limit, so it's more realistic. But if you're doing 1v1s after a warm-up, then you can also do 1v1 build fights, so you can warm up your mechanics even more. But realistics with your trio is a very good use of time as well, as long as you go up against a trio that's around your skill level or even slightly better. And earlier in the video I mentioned I've got a tip from a pro that I've never heard before. I asked a 5 times Grand Finals qualifier to give me a tip that would help you improve, and he said to play ranked and try to take 0 damage, but actually focus on trying not to take damage. So before you make a bad peak, just reset the edit and then turn it into a good peak, and make sure you're protected before taking a shot. This is really good advice. Now that's the best routine as well as some of the best extras, but you need to make sure your routine is as effective as possible. The first way to do this is to stay consistent with it. Just simply stick to your routine and complete your full routine every single day, because consistent hard work leads to success. But to make your Fortnite routine even more effective, then you need to gradually increase the difficulty of your practice so you're always improving and so you don't reach a skill cap. Let me give you an example so you understand what I mean. Let's say you're free building. What you want to do is increase the speed over time, like going from 1.2 times speed to 1.3 times speed. I'm not saying increase it in one session, I'm saying over like weeks or even months. Or in peace control tunnels, going from 1 times speed to 1.1 times speed. You don't need to do this straight away. In fact, I recommend only really doing this when you notice you aren't improving as much, or if you notice you've reached a skill cap. But if you are looking to keep improving, then I recommend watching this video here. But before you go, make sure to like and subscribe and use code Blexiti in the Fortnite item shop.